Alright, so we're heading along on the highway that goes between the beach and the Intracoastal. So it's filled with condos in sunny South Florida, leaving Lake Worth Beach and headed to Lantana. Right here on the corner is the hotel where the premier of China stayed. Well, I think, what is he called? The chairman of the Communist Party? No, I don't know. The head guy of China came here to speak with the president who lives here. So that's where he stayed. He did not stay at Mar-a-Lago, the premier of China. There were protesters out here and supporters. All right, let's see what we got here.
She's facing sentencing, very likely the possibility of some lengthy prison time.
Oh,
I don't know, why is it such
lengthy
a big deal?
prison time.
It's
Why is it such a big
because
deal?
in Silicon Valley, I mean, the fake it till you make it culture is endemic. Every single startup founder tries to make exaggerations,
Right.
tries to hype
Right.
up their company in order to bring
Right.
in venture capital money,
Right.
right? And so everyone...
Very interesting. Very interesting. For some reason, some people could not handle when the president was doing the same things that every single successful business person does, which is basically exaggerate everything. And they didn't realize that the president was the funniest stand-up comic in the country at that time. They took him so seriously. They didn't understand that he is an entertainer. Duh. Doesn't mean his policies were bad. It doesn't mean his policies were good. But his manner was entertaining. But for some reason, it was maddening for half the country. All right, let's see what else we got. The best ribs. Best. I don't know. The best something. Aw, heaven will be a place on earth. So that's Belinda Carlisle, famous from the Go-Go's. I believe that's her as a solo singer. And I have encountered her on the radio before when I was taping. So I pointed out then that she performs still, or recently at least, with the Go-Go's, and they do some of their songs that were hits, and they do some of her songs that were hits. And I had a question. If she released hits on her own, and she released hits with the Go-Go's, how much money does she get compared to the Go-Go's? The Go-Go's were billed as a girl group, and she, of course, is later a solo singer. So who's gonna get that extra money? I don't know. Whatever. Let's see what else we got.
More songs to inspire those dreams.
It's
You're listening to
Delilah.
Delilah.
Isn't Delilah delightful? She certainly has a nice radio voice, and she picks the best songs for the people that call in or write in and request songs. Just 2 days ago, probably, I was listening to a call-in radio show on Legends 100.3, and they said that radio stations just don't do that anymore, basically, and that they were one of the radio stations that still did it, and Delilah, of course, still does it. But Delilah's show is very produced. She's not wasting any time waiting for callers. It must be pre-taped, because it's so slick. You know, it's there's not any wasted time like my videos where, you know, it's like, you know, this could use a little editing, right? So that was Delilah. Let's see what else we got. You ready?
She to bring sports betting to the state. The better news, revenue generated from sports betting will supplement public education in the state. That's $247 million to...
Isn't that sweet? I remember when Florida was deciding whether or not to have a state lottery, and I just didn't think that government should be involved in lotteries. The lotteries just seem so, I don't know, they just don't have anything to do with statecraft or with running any serious enterprise. It's a lottery. It's a game of chance. It's not something that government should be involved in. And then, of course, once that money rolls in, then they just don't give, you know, it's not like it's extra money just sitting around. Once that money goes in, they just take it away from the budget that they had before, it seems like. But it's interesting, you know, we've got all of these, they're called Indian gambling establishments for places that aren't really in states. So you've got the United States, which is surrounding all these other entities, and they all have their own rules and so forth. And the question is, who's in control? The state, the federal, or, you know, the elders of the tribe or whatever. So it's very interesting. Government's crazy. I would say I definitely wish that all 50 states had more states' rights and less federal rights, because the distance you are from your constituents really changes your perspective, and centralization is helpful to a certain degree, but I just wish governors would make more decisions. For instance, it's state driver's licenses and it's state marriage licenses. So the Supreme Court's making decisions on state things. It seems like the state should be in charge, at least to a certain degree, and maybe national could be limited more to national security rather than laws for the general public. But I haven't studied laws. I just know that there's state laws and federal laws, and then of course county, community, and business rules, you know, and they can't all compete with one another, but I would be more comfortable with less power in Washington, D.C. All right. You know, if you think that makes me an evil Republican, I don't know. I'm not a Republican, but I'm not. I guess we're all kind of evil, aren't we? So that's it for today. My late night rambling after my rehearsal. We open tomorrow. Opening night. It stands to be very exciting, and I hope you can come to our show. Actually, I don't really want anybody to see this till after the show's over, because I'm not comfortable with publicity at this point. But I'm getting there. This is helping me, and I don't know why you'd be watching it, but if you're getting anything out of it, good for you. Good night.